it's been a long time since Carrie was on the track this summer for the North American Championships. She won the 1500 this past summer, and then had the time to actually take care of some injury problems. She had terrible plantar fasciitis and some heel issues, and had a few cortisone shots. First athlete we've ever had here that actually had the cortisone shots, and we really babied her back, took our time. She really didn't start, in my opinion, really training until December into January. So, when we sat down in January and discussed the winter, big expectations because of what she's done in the past, but she missed 4 or 5 months worth of training. So for her to be in the national final right now is just awesome. She's training, I would say she's training well. It's difficult, over the last 4 weeks, we want to get her to the indoor nationals, but 2, we don't want to jeopardize anything for outdoors. So we've been trying to, rob Peter to pay Paul, 1, to get her in the meet, and 2, to kind of keep her ready for outdoors. So we'll see a lot better, I believe, from her over the next 3 months. But training, we couldn't be happier with the way things turned out over the last 4 weeks. She's back in the meet, and that looked pretty uncertain 6-7 weeks ago.
What was her last mile time? What did she run?
So she ran 4:38 on the weekend, only mile she ran all winter. Prior to that, or the last mile she ran probably was at the Nationals last year. And
What'd she run there?
I think her best last season was 4:37. Again, she's had a rough go. She's just at the level where if we play our cards right, even though she's come through some vicious sicknesses a year ago to make the national final and actually get an All-American, this year it's this plantar issue. So we're just looking for 4 months without any interruption. So hopefully we get that. So her all-time best is 4:34 from the year prior to win the Big East and actually set the Big East record at that point. So we think she's getting close. Who knows? Things will probably be a little tactical this weekend, but I think we'll really see her back in the next 6 or 8 weeks.
Then Jess O'Connell, you redshirted her in the fall, cross country. And how was her training?
Jess was a little different. Yeah, Jess was a little different because she had the eligibility and she was healthy when she arrived back to school. That was sort of a decision to sort of set things up for 211 with the 3 seniors. And to be honest, we're very lucky we did it because she was hit by a car walking across the road this fall and destroyed her collarbone and her shoulder and
she was out running?
She was just walking. Yeah, just walking across the road, and a car made a quick right turn and whacked her. And she was in the shape of her life actually in cross country. I would say at that point she was the fittest college girl we had. And then she walked around in a in a contraption there for a month or so. So we're lucky that we did plan ahead and didn't kind of use the eligibility, but the poor girl missed herself 5 or 6 weeks of great consistency.
That happened in what month?
That happened early October. We were going to go to Penn State. We were going to race Penn State. She was going to actually go run unattached over there, and boom, she got hit. So again, she lost a lot. She lost a lot of time, a lot of confidence. But things have come back, and she's run a lifetime best just Friday night. So we're within 7 days, 8 days of the actual final, and she's run her lifetime best. She won the Big East Championship, her first for us, and then her lifetime best. So anytime you're within 7 or 8 days of the major competition and you're running that well, she's in a good place for the weekend.
We think about 2 or 3 seconds, Sean, is what she's going to need to get in the top 8 based upon it.
Yeah, great. That's what I would say. You have to be capable of at least probably a 9:08 to 9:10 to be able to be a top 8 kid. We had a good situation Friday night. Saturday night we ran. She was in a rabbited race up in New York City. But when it got really, really tough inside about the last 2 minutes, Jess was forced into the lead and did a good job with the lead. And a couple of the girls that kind of, did the opposite of what happened at the Big East. The girls that were pushing the pace at the Big East, Jess took advantage of it and was able to beat them home at the Big East Championship. This weekend it was the exact opposite. She did a little dirty work late in the race and got just a little bit off in the kick. If she can get that, in place for this weekend, she's definitely got a shot for a top 8.
What do you think about the Stony Brook girl? You think she's going to go 3K or a mile, or what do you think?
I think she'll go 3K. Her coach has said that all season. That's what the goal is. Go 3,000 meters. She's something else right now. Mm-hmm. Indoors it's tricky. You come off a great fall cross country, and it's pretty easy to be in shape for indoors. All across the country, it's happening. This is the fastest year by far. We had a young lady, 1999, win the national mile 4:39 point, and there was a 4:39 girl that didn't even get in the meet this year. So, things change, people evolve, training gets tougher, faster tracks all across the country are making these things happen. But it's something else. We've got a young girl, Sarah Bro, that last year Marie Louise, one of the highlights of my coaching career, Marie Louise and Clara Grant almost break the Big East record, go 1-2 at the Big East, smash our school record. If you eliminate that performance from our history books, Sarah sets our all-time school record at 5K. And I didn't even run her in a last chance because I just thought, we're going to save it for outdoors. I didn't think she could, run better than she did in that performance. So it's just unbelievable all across the board, all events. It's just a crazy year.
You mentioned Carrie's time. Again,
Yeah.
You're probably only looking at a second or two, could possibly crack in the top 8.
Absolutely.
So she's right there, right?
She is right there, and she came off the Big East Championship. We dropped her down to 800. She's very good at the 800, but in a comeback she was vulnerable, and then came home. We've been very fortunate this winter with sicknesses, but Carrie did get sick coming off the Big East meet, and yeah, she takes 1 or 2 more seconds off that time. She'll be standing on the podium with a top 8 spot. Yeah.
Chelsea, the hurdles, you're looking at about 14, 15 girls with that 817 down. It's going to be a logjam, isn't it?
It's unbelievable what was required to make it in the hurdles this year. Last year she'd come off that big day in the 4th place in the multi, and she'd run the hurdle race, and a lifetime best 8:21 she ran, or 8:21 I think at the national championships, and all of a sudden a year later, if she runs 8:21, that made the final. She doesn't get in the meet. So now we're talking, she'd run 8:15. The slowest girl in the race is 8:17. But she's a gamer, and she expects it. We hope for it and expect that she'll duplicate the same performance and find herself standing in the final Saturday night.
And then multi, point wise, there's some ground she's got to make up. Or where could she make up those points?
Well, one of the places I think we can make up is in the long jump. We know the long jump can be a little bit better in the multi. We also know that over 800 meters, she was at the front of the Big East. She was trying to break a Big East record. She pushed from the gun hard, but that's an event where these girls, they just need they really need comp. They dread that thing. A couple don't. They love it. They wait for it at the end of the meet, but for the most part, they dread it. And she's one of them that's okay with it, but she's going to run faster this weekend. A little bit further, I think she can throw. The hurdles, which, if she can duplicate what it took to get into nationals in the hurdles, and she can start off that day, she's going to be dynamite. And that's what we're hoping for.
So you're hoping to pick up a lot of points in the event she's strongest and kind of hang on in the ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's great is that everyone's got their week events. In her week events, she's improving daily. So, upsets happen, and Chelsea Carrier is one of the toughest male-female athletes to ever go through this school, I believe. And if someone's going to do it, it's going to be her.
How do you prepare them? Do you work on the weaknesses or try to help the strengths? How do you prepare for that?
I'll tell you, it's been a philosophy around here whereby we're going to always work what she's really good at. And 2 or 3 years ago when we sat down as a staff, Marty really felt that the hurdles was her future, and primarily is trained like a hurdler, with a good amount of running in it. I think for her to do everything that she can possibly do over the next few years, next 18 months anyways, we're going to have to spend more time on her weaker events. She did a lot more throwing this winter, and it shows. Her jumping over the last 12 months has improved tremendously. Long jumps in a good place. The high jump, boy, she jumped phenomenal at the Big East, and if she can continue to do that, God knows where she'll be in a year and a half.
Her score is 5th. How much room do you think she has there to get that thing up to around top 2 or 3?
Yeah, I think she's got minimum 100 points in her. Some of us believe around here even upwards of 150, but I think she has 100 in her. And then you go to nationals, in that event, God, you do your best 5 times, and you come back and you look at the scoreboard and see what you did, and yeah, she's got a shot for 2, 3, 4 for sure.
So she's got to go a little bit better, and some of those teams got to come down to her a little bit.
Absolutely, and part of that comes down to where did you qualify? Were you pushed in your competition? Was it relaxed? Did your conference meet make you go early morning, or was it ideal in the afternoon? There's a few variables, and to be honest, I would never put it against her to go out and win the whole thing. I mean, it's tremendous competition, tremendous, but she's believing she's got a shot. She's so.
So there's 3 girls that can conceivably get you points in this national.
I think so. I think all 3 can do it, and if we go out, we had a few hits this winter, and the team itself, in terms of a national ranking, we're still a top 25 team, and it's pretty exciting that we can have a few devastating hits and still be there with a track program here. So, Yeah, if they go out honestly and they duplicate what they did the other night, meaning the two girls in the distance races run the same types of races, they'll score. And I really believe that. And, Chelsea's just on a roll, so who knows what she'll do.
Well, if you get 3 and in 4 events, that could be a top 20 finish.
It very well could be. And that's sort of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.